I've never felt like enough. Growing up, I went to private school, and at a very young age, I learned how comparison could lead to my self-destruction. Comparing my life to the lives of others around me led to me being self-critical, anxious, and angry. Whether I was comparing myself because I was the only Black girl in class, because of where I lived, or because my family structure looked a lot different than everyone else's, it never seemed like I was enough to create the life I wanted for myself. Here's a little backstory. I'll give you 5 examples on how comparison dictated my life. Number 1, I was never popular, but I was known because I stood out. My best friend is super popular. If you all recall Musical.ly, an app similar to TikTok, then you've probably seen my best friend. To this day, she has over 100,000 followers on all her social media platforms. I'm not the biggest fan of social media, and here's why. It consumed me. I started to want to look like the popular girls. I wanted the slim figure, the lighter skin, long silky hair, and every other beauty standard that genuinely wasn't in my reach. Social media granted her with opportunities that I never saw and probably never will see. Number 2, I think my mom is the absolute coolest person in the world. And I've often compared my life and my storyline to hers because I want to amount to the woman she is one day. I mean, she had the dream life, 2-parent household, full ride to college, cousins, aunts, uncles, friends her age, so she was never alone. She got her dream career. She has a confidence that could not be touched ever. And she'll probably be mad at me for saying this, but she's a complete head turner. I mean, when people see her, let alone talk to her, they become hypnotized. The power she possesses is a constant reminder that at this point in my life, she's everything that I'm not. Number 3, on my first day of nursing school, they went around the room and asked, why nursing? Everyone's answers kind of expressed their passion for nursing as a career, while my answer expressed my passion for people, healthcare, and politics. Throughout my time in nursing school, I tried to figure out how I could find that passion for nursing as a career, and I tried, but I didn't find it. On my first day of clinicals, they split us up into groups, and my partner and I were doing rounds for patients with diabetes. She was so excited to check vitals and check their blood glucose levels, while I was more excited to talk to them about the changes in their insurance coverage and the cost of their medicine at that time. When I went home, I cried myself to sleep because she found her excitement in the clinical aspect of nursing, while I found my excitement with the policy side, the political side. So I often compared our experiences that day and from that day on, and felt like maybe I wasn't in the right headspace to be a nurse, or maybe my passion just wasn't there. Number 4, like I said, I'm 21 years old, and at the age of 17, I was diagnosed with systemic lupus. To put it simply, it's an autoimmune disease that causes my body to attack itself. My day-to-day life looks a lot different than other people's, and it makes me kind of upset. I see people around me going out, taking trips, and doing the things that young adults do, but I'm not afforded that luxury. I don't know how I'll feel tomorrow. I don't know what I'll feel like when I wake up, and genuinely, it's just hard. So I've often compared myself and wished that I could remember what it's like to live life young and pain-free. Number 5, my college experience and finding my way through my personal life has not really been the best. I have pretty much the same routine: go to class, work, go home, My friends are super, super known and popular, and they walk around the campus and people stop and talk to them. And I've often compared what it'll be like when my friends leave. Will I go from being a tag-along friend to back to being the girl who kind of stayed to herself and never talked to anyone? So with all of those feelings, it was easy for me to feel inadequate. Until recently, when I came across a quote from Thomas Keller saying, "A recipe has no soul. You, as the cook, must bring the soul to the recipe." We can think of life as a cooking process, assembling things. We go through phases. And the question I've asked is, does my cooking process have to look like everyone else's? And are the looks of things all it takes to make a great dish? Coming to college, I had the opinion that I had to come in and out in 4 years unscathed. That quickly changed when I was accepted into nursing school fall of 2021. Well, let me put it like this. I'll be finishing semester 1 of nursing school, spring of 2023, and I've officially changed my major for fall of 2023. 2 of my closest friends sat out for an entire year, and their opinions of their story are kind of mixed. One friend said when she first sat out that she felt like she was falling behind. She saw her friends move on and graduate, and here she is still here. But they taught me about being grateful in my journey. So I say all of that to say, I'll give you 5 ways comparison stands as the thief of joy. Number 1, it sets unrealistic expectations. When we look and compare our lives to other people's, sometimes it can cause us to set expectations that aren't really for us. I'll give you an example. So you're scrolling on your timeline and you see a couple. He's buying her flowers, he's taking her on trips, and then you're sitting there like, excuse me, when is my significant other gonna take me on a trip? When are they gonna do those things for me? Well, you can't forget, we're in college, so sometimes all the best they can do is maybe a date at the ag business patio. Number 2, it can make you feel inadequate. When you compare your life to other people, it can make you feel less than. Another example, recently, a friend of mine let me know that she was getting engaged. We're the same age, and I feel like I'm falling behind in my dating life. Like, hey, why is she getting married and I'm still? But genuinely, it causes mixed emotions about your self-worth. Number 3, comparison births envy. When we look at other people, we can sometimes become envious or jealous. So say you have a friend and they just got a new truck. They got the job offer that you wanted, and you sit back and feel like, that should have been me. Number 4, it can be a distraction. Sometimes we get so caught up in comparing our life to other people's that we become stagnant in what we're doing. We lose focus, and genuinely, our head is everywhere but where it's supposed to be. And number 5, it hinders us from living in the moment. We've all done it. We're supposed to be doing homework, or working, and we find ourselves scrolling on social media for 3 hours. I had a conversation with our speaker coach, and he talked about facts versus reality. Well, the fact is, comparison is inevitable. But my reality is that I let it dictate my life. So here are 5 ways that you can stop comparison from stealing your joy. Number 1, find your recipe. Know what you want. Know that you're solid in your decisions and your thought processes. Affirming yourself in every way possible so that you're secure with your decisions. Number 2, identify what's in your kitchen. What do you have? We can't choose the life we're born into. We don't choose the environment we're raised in, but you can use all of that as foundation to grow. Whether you want to do the same things or you decide to change that, it's always possible. 3, identify your secret ingredient. Like I said earlier, I'm currently in nursing school, and I didn't have the passion for nursing as a career, but I do have a passion for healthcare, and I do have a passion for politics, and I can use that to my advantage. So that's my secret ingredient. Number 4, learn to incorporate more than one recipe. Like I said, comparison is inevitable. So you will find yourself looking at other people's recipes. But what's important is that you know the basis of what you want. And if you see something else that you like, you can always add. You don't always have to go just one way. You don't have to live life by a book. It's really a choice. And number 5, once you find all of these, bring your recipe to life. Take your time. Don't rush. Your cooking process could take longer than a recipe says. It could take less time. But all that matters is that you complete it to your satisfaction. So I say all that to say I gave you 5 ways comparison has dictated my life. 5 questions to ask yourself to see if comparison is dictating yours. And 5 ways to stop comparison from stealing your joy. Don't let comparison be your form of self-harm. Thank you.